Hello, nerds. Welcome to GeekBeast, part of the Geekish Network. This is your daily rundown of geek news by geeks like you. If you're new to our show, we cover the geek news beat and we share our opinions. I'm your host, Chuck, and with me we got Randy. Say what's up to people, Randy.
Yo, what's going on, Geek Beast? Chuck, what are we talking about tonight?
Okay, the first story up. One Piece log, Fishman Island saga, premiere delayed due to MLB World Series. So there was a new saga for One Piece called the Fishman Island Saga. And they're like, the World Series is going on. Although originally scheduled to be debuted on October 27th, the series premiere has been delayed due to the broadcast of the Major League Baseball World Series. Baseball is already a huge sport in Japan, but there's added interest in this year's World Series due to the fact the Japanese superstar Shohei Ohtani Otani is a global superstar of a huge following in Japan, so it's understandably why the first episode of One Piece Log, Fishman Island Saga has been pushed back. It's now scheduled to debut on November 3rd, 2024 in Japan.
Man, what
Yeah,
can you say?
Shohei Ohtani. He is the man in baseball right now,
And
especially as much as they paid for him.
right, and the World Series has a lot going for it now. They got two big market teams: the historic Yankees, the Dodgers, L.A., New York. Guy you just mentioned. And baseball is very big in Japan and some other Asian countries. So I get it.
Yeah. I mean, Otani's the man.
Yeah, I get it.
He makes what $2 million a year, something like that.
$2
Contract,
million dollars a year.
something like that.
You
Like,
ain't wait. If he's a top major league baseball player, he make way more than that.
yeah,
I'm
his
like 40, 50 million a year.
his contract's worth 700 million.
Yeah, I was about to say, yeah. I know he make more than 2
700
million a
million.
year.
Yeah, my fault.
Yeah, I was
His
about to say, yeah.
contract's worth $700 million.
Right. Yeah, I'm
Well,
thinking
technically you're right because
they take all his money.
no, he did this weird contract where he deferred all his payments to till the end of his contract.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
he is only making about 2 million a year right now.
Mm-hmm.
So
But
he
he's gonna get like a
deferred
lump sum or something like that.
something weird where it would like circumvented, so it allowed the Dodgers to like pay for more players. So basically, he deferred all of his payments to like 10 years down the line.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So he's
I wonder
only
what the
getting
tax
like
qua-
two.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like a weird tax thing / loophole.
Okay.
And yeah. So, anyways, but
I would imagine it had to
technically,
have some sort of tax.
yeah, technically
so
you're
that
right,
tax bill
Chuck.
gonna
That's
hit
probably
him.
why you had that $2 million in your
Yeah.
head. You probably heard that somewhere, and that's what it
Yeah.
is. So technically, yeah, but it's 700 million over 10 years. But then like he
Right.
deferred the yearly payments to like towards the end of the contract.
Okay, because I'm about to say, ain't no way nobody a star in
And
professional
in the
baseball making $2 million.
MLB collective bargaining agreement, it's legal. You
Mm.
couldn't do that in NBA or NFL, but in the
Yeah.
MLB, the way the MLB works, it's perfectly legal.
And it's, I guess, kind of like a delayed signing bonus. Football players get their money up front because their contracts aren't guaranteed. So you could have a $200 million contract and you'll say, I'll get 80 million all up front. MLB probably pushes his back so you can have more salary cap adjustment. So I can see that. Damn, 700 million?
700 million, baby.
And then you're going to get, what, like 600 million all at once? It's a hell of a payday.
It is. It is.
You just get a check for $600 million.
There you go.
Jeez.
Yep. That's how you do it.
Cash. I ain't talking about
Yep.
stocks and like stuff, but just a paycheck.
Everybody in Japan is watching. He's killing it. He's crushing it right now. So
Good for him.
hopefully Dodgers win the World Series, and if they win the World Series, boy, LA's gonna be on fire the next day.
You think it is?
Hell, this is LA, boy. You ain't been around when LA wins something.
I mean, I grew up in the 2000s. Well, the
It-
whole life. LA's
it'll be
been
on-
winning my whole life.
It'll be on fire.
Yeah.
It won't
It'll
be
be
as
on fire.
widespread. It won't. Be, I don't think it'll be as widespread because like they did win in
Uh,
2020. I think that one time, like when the
it,
Lakers won,
it,
when the Shaq era, when like downtown was like
Yeah,
on
they were
fire.
flipping over
Yeah,
cars and setting
but
stuff on
that was
fire. I
because
remember that.
The Lakers hadn't won anything in like a long
Yeah, since the
time.
'80s, they
Yeah,
hadn't won it since
so
'88.
so I think it'll be a little bit more tame, but Chuck's right. There will
And
be some fires.
and
At
I
the very
believe you,
least, like crazy fireworks. The
and
very
I was
least.
just
yeah,
thinking, like, I was comparing it to, that's what I was thinking, Ronnie, was like the Shaq and Kobe era. Like, I remember
this
seeing cars being flipped over and stuff set on fire and things
it's
like
gonna be
that.
on fire. They're gonna have the police down there because let me tell you, they're playing against New York. They're
Yeah,
playing the Yankees. And if
yeah,
they win in Los Angeles against the Yankees,
yeah,
boy,
that's
boy,
huge.
boy,
This World Series is
that's
going to do
huge.
crazy
It's
numbers. It's going to do
crazy. It's
crazy numbers.
crazy. It's crazy. We have a cousin who thought the Mets were going to beat the Dodgers, and I sit there and I laugh about it now. She was like, "Yeah, it's going to be a Subway Series." I was like, "They're not going to make it past the Dodgers. What are you talking about?"
And I feel like the MLB, not saying it's rigged, but the MLB wanted this. LA versus New York, the Yankees versus the Dodgers. I mean, it marketed itself.
It does market itself. It does. It does.
You don't have to do
Um,
much.
DC's reviving Vertigo Comics. Did you know that?
Outstanding.
Yeah, because they have to.
Why do they
Because nobody's
literally?
reading DC Comics.
Oh,
No, no, let me see. So DC Comics Chief Creative Officer Jim Lee announced that the
mhm.
return of DC storied Vertigo imprint, home for original creator-owned comics from Y the Last Man the Preacher, will be revitalized. While Lee did not yet reveal any new Vertigo books, he announced some existing DC books will be grandfathered into the imprint, just as the original Vertigo, because of the home of pre-existing books like The Sandman.
Yeah.
The creator-owned horror series The Nice House by the Sea from James Tynan the fourth and artist Alvaro Martinez Bueno will lose its black label trade dress in favor of the new suite of Vertigo branding on its next reprint.
Did
Yeah,
Jim Lee start, or was one of those founding partners of Vertigo?
I think he was one of the founding fathers of Vertigo. But
Yeah,
they have to do something because nobody cares about Superman and Wonder Woman. They care about Batman. They don't care about those other two.
people care about damn DC Comics. Why are you all are haters against DC?
Nobody's a hater of DC, man. They actually do make really good comics, though. I give
They
DC that
do.
their comic imprint is
They make
great.
really good comics. They make really good animation. They make terrible movies. That's the problem. They make terrible movies.
They do make terrible movies.
Outside of Batman. Outside of Batman. But there are other stuff.
Yeah, comics from DC Comics. Black label pages could literally be bigger than most DC comics, while projects like Wonder Woman Historia, the Amazons, was allowed 5 years between announcement and the final issue. So, yeah, we got a little bit more space to play in it.
Okay.
Uh, uh, uh,
I'm excited
the
about
Funk came in and said Jim Lee was one of the Marvel guys who left to form Image Comics.
it. Image.
It was
Image.
Image
Okay, that's
Comics.
what it was. Yeah,
It was Image
right.
Comics. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Image. That's what it was.
Yeah, it was Image Comics.
Yeah. Because
So yeah.
Jim Lee's a whole genius.
So
But no,
we were off. What's up?
no, go ahead. Go ahead.
He is a genius. Jim Lee is a genius. We were talking about this story off camera, you guys. And the story we're talking about is Marvel's Blade reboot has been sheathed.
Twix.
So it's on hold right now. The Marvel Blade reboot. And for me, I'm okay if they don't make it.
And I'm angry that they're shelving it. I really am.
I mean, if they made it, I'd be like, okay, I'll go check it out, of course. But
Yeah.
I'm okay with them because I think Wesley Snipes did such a great job as
I
Blade.
think Wesley killed it. I don't. Yeah. Go ahead. I'm
Yeah,
sorry. I kept cutting you off.
but I personally don't need a reboot. I think there's other characters that they can make comic books off of, but that's just me.
And I don't mind them making other characters, but I think a Blade reboot would be cool. And especially, I think Mahershala is a dope. I think he's a great actor, and I think he would bring a lot of value to this interpretation we got. I don't feel like it has to be either or. I feel like we can include some heritage comics or some heritage IPs, and we can also do some new ones as well. I don't know why it has to be
Yeah.
this sort of partition between like old versus new.
Yeah, yeah. I just think that's, I want them to go through a gamut of black characters. Because what they'll do is they'll get stuck. They'll give us a new Black Panther. They'll give us a new Blade. They'll give us a Miles. Then they'll give us another Miles. Then they'll give us a new Blade. And we're like, there's other black characters you can make stuff up. So I want them to exhaust those characters. They exhaust all the white characters. Why can't they exhaust the black characters?
And I'm not mad. And I just had the problem though, like this was announced almost 4 years ago. Like, why did it keep getting new
Because the
iterations and new
story
iterations?
sucks.
And story like there's stories out there. I feel like Blade is an easy win. I don't think it needs a lot. Some of the stories that they were putting out there, like that they were leaking, they were saying Blade was like the fourth star in his own movie.
Yeah.
It was
His daughter's
crazy.
gonna take over Blade.
It was crazy, you
That
know.
may
But
be the story, though.
his daughter can take over, but him being the fourth lead, that's why Mahershala was like, no, we're not doing that. And I feel like, why did they drop the ball so badly on this? I feel like there's lots of stories you can do with Blade. He's a great character. And why did they have to mess this one up so badly? Seemed like an easy win, and I just don't understand it.
Maybe they should come with new stuff and not old stuff. Because
Who's to say they wouldn't mess up the new stuff?
they they may mess it up, but
You
we don't
know?
have any. We don't have a point of reference, right?
You know? Like, why
I,
couldn't you
I,
get this together? I think it's a big mess.
I'm thinking that there's other Marvel characters. I think, especially black characters that are very dynamic. They can use like they could do a whole Mighty's Adventures thing. A whole
My thing
Mighty.
is, if they wouldn't do this one right, why would they do other ones right?
I trust them to do other because the director now is like, hey, I want to be different than the last Blade.
Yeah,
Every director is gonna say
they've had
that.
like 5 directors.
I know it, but every director said I want to make sure it's different
You know, like why don't they do that with Spider Man? Like we get lots of Spider Man movies. We're gonna get X Men movies, right? I don't get it.
because we don't get treated the same.
You know, and that's what it is. I feel like I don't know if it was intentional. I just don't know why it was so hard to do a Blade movie. I don't get it.
I think
Hey,
there's other people they could work on too.
you
I
know,
just want more characters.
you know,
And I don't want them to recycle characters. They'll stick us with 4 characters and we'll be stuck with those 4 characters forever and never give us another character.
you know,
I want
and
you, I want you to go through all of them. You gave me a damn Flash movie in a Justice League. I want to go through all the characters. I want you to exhaust the characters.
yeah, but I mean, we are in an era that characters are being recycled. I'm not saying that that's the right thing to do. Why did y'all have
But
to miss
but
this one so
but
badly?
don't recycle us at 3 characters and you recycle them at 12. Like,
Yeah,
you understand what I'm saying?
but
Recycle us at 12 too.
like, but why couldn't we get one in there too? Like, I don't think it has to be limited. Like, we can't say, oh, well, since we're pursuing other characters, oh, we can't do this one as well. I don't get that.
You can do it, but do it after you do these other characters. That's what I'm saying,
You
man.
know, and
Do
what
it
is
after you do the characters.
and there
But
hasn't
never do
been.
the characters. Show me
There,
that you want to make Blade a woke property. You want to make it diverse. You want to change the story. You want to involve women. That's fine. Do that later, but show me the characters as they stand in the comics.
and and I guess my thought is they aren't showing a great alacrity to show black characters. So what makes me think that they're going to take unproven properties, which Hollywood has been very adverse to unproven properties, that they're going to just now release this whole slate
Hell,
of
they,
new
hell,
characters.
Iron Man was an unproven property.
You know, yeah, Iron Man was.
Blade
And
was the original Blade with Wesley
at
Snipes.
one point, everything, but like, what have we been shown? We talk about this every single week, every single day about
I'm saying,
Hollywood's
but
things for nostalgia.
that's part of my commentary is like I want our generation of filmmakers because it's our generation. It's not these old men, it's us to come up instead of remaking, recycling, remixing, redoing, whatever you want to call it. Instead of doing that, come with original properties.
But they
Come with
haven't.
original. What's
They
up?
haven't.
They
I
haven't.
feel
They
like they
should.
haven't.
But
And
I
I
would
feel
like.
like,
But
and
I
I
would
feel like
want them to
them
try.
not,
It
and I
doesn't
feel like,
doesn't stop me from wanting them to try though.
right, but I don't see why. I'm not saying that they're not, but they're not. So I don't see them not releasing Blade is going to be indicative that they're going to start releasing a new slate of
No,
black
no, I'm not
characters.
saying that neither. I'm not saying that.
So it's like, why
I
can't
just
we get
want
this
them to
one?
do this.
I hear what you want. I just
Yeah,
don't see
I don't.
how that's happening.
Yeah, I don't think they're. So that's. I think that's the other problem with MCU is the Feige effect, and so much of it is done by committee and by what Feige wants. So you
Yes.
have these really, like he said, this generation filmmakers that like have a really interesting take on things, but they're like, no, it doesn't fit into the game plan that we have. So one comment I read earlier was that part of the reason why Blade got shelved was it wasn't part of the multiverse. The story didn't fit into the multiverse. So, I mean, famously Edgar Wright left Ant-Man, right? Because,
Mhm.
so you have all these directors that are probably trying to do some really, really cool stuff, and Marvel's just not letting them because
I'll let 'em.
they have to kind of follow the rails a little bit, right?
Mhm.
So it's an interesting. It's really interesting to me. It's like the politics of all of it,
Yeah.
and the
And we can't say that Marvel is adverse to going off doing unproven properties because they gave us Echo, completely unproven. They had no
yeah.
audience for that when
So
they
they,
made.
they are
So
trying, and the thing is, like you're right.
Yeah.
I think it's also a little bit of hubris upon Feige's
Mhm.
part because he does have a track record for taking these unproven characters. I mean, Guardians of the Galaxy. I never
Mhm.
even heard of Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh, you had it? Yeah.
When it came
That's
out
one of my
as a
comic
movie,
books. That's one of my favorite comic
yeah,
books.
when it came out as a movie, I was like, huh, who's this? And then I didn't realize they were
Yeah.
that popular or even
Yeah.
popular. But then, like, I'm sure I'm not the only one alone in that. And then they turned it into like a major thing, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, I think that's part of my issue too, because I see them taking unproven white characters and throwing them up on the silver screen, and black characters they go back to what they think is going to be hot, and they go through the same three the same three archetypes they go through. They go through the same three archetypes,
and I'm just
and
saying,
I
like,
want them
I
to
don't
go
know
through a
why it
new
has to be
archetype.
either or. Like, why it has to be either or, right? Like, okay, since we're not gonna do Blade, and I just don't see them rushing to do unproven characters because they've not demonstrated that that's on the slate. We've only had a black in 12 years. We've had 2 black movies.
Yeah, and one of those was completely unproven and was completely
Right. So
viewer
so if
was
we go
ran
another we're going
ran
another
remembered.
another 10, 12
I
years with
want them to
another.
just I don't want them. I don't want them to go another 10 years, Randy. I want them to do it now. I
But
want
what
them to do it now.
I guess my question becomes like, what is in evidence that they are doing that right now?
There's nothing. That's what I'm hoping for. That's what I want them to do.
So and for
They're
me,
not
I
even
just don't.
doing the old characters. They're
Yeah.
never going to decide on the movie with the old characters because they're going to see the new script and compare against the old script. And some executives going to be like, that's not the script. That's not
And,
Blade. And somebody's going to say, but this is what Blade is today. And everybody's going to hate it.
and
I
I'm
don't want to
saying that
tarnish
if
the
they're
name of
not doing
Blade.
Blade, they might not do any other characters.
I don't think that's the case. I think they
I
could do
do
it.
because we've only had one. We've only had Black Panther. We talked.
Honestly, I'd rather for them not to do another Blade movie if they're going to ruin a Blade movie.
I don't want them to ruin the Blade movie either. I don't know why those things have to be mutually exclusive. Like, why
Because
does
we
it? Why do
know
they have to ruin a Blade movie? I don't. I don't
because they
get
want to
that.
do something completely different with Blade. So in order to do something completely different with Blade means I'm not going to make him Blade be Blade. I'm going to
Then
do
yeah,
something
I
different.
don't. I don't want. I don't want that. I don't know why they just can't do a good Blade movie.
There already is a good Blade movie, and so the next
A,
director wants to do
a
something different.
a new good Blade movie. Blade hasn't been out in 25 years.
But I want to do something different.
There's like 2 generations of people that have never even heard of, that have never seen the Blade movie.
They seen it on video. It's streaming.
It's potential that they've never seen a Blade movie. Blade came out in like 96.
Randy, people ain't seen Echo neither.
You know?
People haven't seen Echo neither. People ain't seen She-Hulk neither. It's okay if people ain't seen it. Because you make it don't mean people going to see it.
Right. But my point is,
People definitely not going to see it if it's made on
what I'm saying is it
his
could be
daughter.
something introduced with all the merits of a Blade movie that a whole generation could see because they've never seen the original Blade movies. I don't understand why we didn't have to do Blade movie. I really don't. I don't get it.
You know, I would hate for them to say, you know what we need to do? Remake Shang-Chi. I'd be like, what? Give me another Asian character. Y'all have a ton of Asian characters.
I don't.
Give me another one.
Shang-Chi just came out like 3 years ago. Why would they
But
remake
it doesn't mean they wouldn't redo it. They'll redo it again
I don't
if they
think they
have to.
Well, it looks
They redid
from everything that I've
Spider-Man
read,
this way.
from everything I read. So speaking of Shang-Chi, from everything I read, it looks like Shang-Chi's not going to get a sequel. So that to me is very disappointing as well.
Yeah, that's disappointing.
Yeah. So I'm not even talking about remaking. Like, just give him a sequel. Give him 3 movies.
I don't know why
like
I
everybody
feel
else
like
got
that's
3
an
movies,
easy win
right?
too. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
Why don't we have a sequel to it? I feel like that's an easy win too.
I
And
don't.
why even announce it if you're not going
My
to do it?
bitterness is this. Marvel comes with new properties, new characters for white characters all the time. And they don't exhibit it for any people of color. That's
And I don't disagree with that. I just don't get why we have to do. And then why even announce it? Like, why even announce it and do 4 years of 4 years of just
because their heart's not in it. They don't really
know?
care about that character. They
Right?
got
Then why
a
even
Blade movie.
then why even
People to
announce
rewatch
it?
the old Blade movies. It's
Yeah,
cheap
don't-
marketing.
Yeah, then why even announce it?
Because when people announced it, people started watching Blade when they announced it.
And that's trash to me.
Well, I mean, if you remember, Mahershala Ali came to them and said, "I want to do another Blade." That is why they did Blade, because Mahershala Ali, coming off his Oscar wins, he comes and he is like a hell of an actor. Comes and says, "I'm going to be part of the MCU and I want to be Blade." Then that was my understanding, is that's why they said
it was.
Blade wasn't even on their radar. And so, but Mahershala Ali came along and said, "I want to do this." They're like, "Okay, let's do it."
Like Black Panther wasn't on the radar until all the fan fervor for it hit him. And they were like, we have to do this movie. And then they slated it in between some other movies. And they thought it was going to fail. That's what I'm saying. I don't trust them. They don't trust us that we know what we like and what we want.
I would love to see Mahershala Ali as Blade.
I think a lot of people would, and I think it could have been something that was really.
I was really hoping to see Mahershala Ali.
I could see him doing I could see him being a bunch of Marvel characters.
You know,
I mean, they could. I mean, just throw this out there, but if they recast T'Challa, have Mahershala Ali become T'Challa.
We could do that too.
I think he's a little old, right? Or how like not the it's a new movie, because Mahershala's a little old.
He could be Blue Marvel. He could be Sync. But he couldn't be Sync. Sync is relatively young. He could be Black Lightning. He could be a number of Dr. Voodoo. They could make him. He couldn't do Bishop. I wouldn't make him Bishop. I don't know.
So, man, I was excited about a potential Blade movie, and now I guess that won't be happening. I'm not saying it's the only black character that they could do, but I was excited about seeing that character again. And I guess it ain't gonna happen.
Yeah. It's interesting. I mean, should it happen? Should they make a Blade movie? Yeah. I was excited to see a Blade movie, but I wish they would do other Marvel characters.
I do too. I don't disagree with you there.
That's what I'm saying. I rather, if they give me choices, say, Charles, you want a Blade movie or another Marvel character? I'd be like, another Marvel character. Because I think that Wesley Snipes right now is the definitive Blade. Mahershala Ali would have done a great job, but we'd be compared. It'd be like a Jordan LeBron argument. Who's better?
It would be. Mark said Mahershala is Cottonmouth.
He is Cottonmouth. He'd make a great Cottonmouth.
He was Cottonmouth.
Yeah.
He was already Cottonmouth.
Yeah, he's a great Cottonmouth.
Yeah. So it's all good, man.
I think he'd be a great like Tom Foster, Black Goliath. I think there's a bunch of characters he could be. He could be crushing it.
So
Crush it as.
I don't doubt
So
that. I just would have liked to see the Blade movie. So it's
you
all
just want to see a Blade movie.
I did want to see a Blade movie. Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah. Yep.
Yes. Marvel's Blade reboot has been sheathed. The publisher revealed Luke Cage will be returning to shelves with Power Man Timeless, another 5-issue miniseries releasing in February. That sounds exciting. Back from outer space, the God-slaying gamma-powered, iron-fisted sentry from the future, Luke Cage, arrives in modern Marvel universe. You know,
But that's the comics, right? We're not talking about
yeah,
TV show.
comics.
Yeah.
I would like to see Luke Cage introduced to the Marvel
I
universe,
would too.
cinematic universe.
Yeah, I think
And
that would be dope.
make him as Luke Cage as possible.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, my thing is like I don't see why we have to limit these things.
I didn't say limited, but I mean we had to put it in order and we had to choose because
Yeah.
obviously Marvel was like we have 4 black characters. We're gonna do remake Blade,
Yeah.
cut the other 3, and I'm like, well, I'd rather see the other 3 than remake Blade. That's how I look at it. And like we're gonna pick one of these 4. We're gonna choose Blade because that's the one we know is gonna win. Because they like that. It's been proven they like that.
I would like to see Blade, but I'd also like to see a Luke Cage film too.
Yeah. There's a lot of films I would like to see.
I like
There's
to
a
see
lot of characters. There's a lot of black Marvel characters I would
Yeah,
like.
a lot of them. It's a lot of them. I wouldn't mind seeing the Bishop movie.
You know? But they'll pass a Bishop for Blade because Blade is a proven one. Blade made millions. Blade made the whole entire genre.
So, if I could get several of them, but I do like the character of Blade, and I think it's cool.
I like Mark said, oh, Larry Fishburne is Black Goliath. It'd be nice to see those, because what they'll do is they'll be like, oh, let's make another Storm movie. Let's make another Storm movie. Let's make another
Storm
movie.
movie.
They did. We see them. They do it. They do it with the white properties as well. They did it with.
Yeah, they do plenty of white properties.
They
We're literally talking about Wolverine. Wolverine, the biggest movie of the year,
See,
and it's 20 years old.
That's what I don't want is the Vertigo Wolverine.
Yeah.
Now they gave us variety. I wouldn't care about another Blade movie, but they're not giving us any variety.
Yeah,
So
give
us variety.
Yeah, we literally just did it. Like I said, another Wolverine movie. 2002 is when it might have been 99, 2000 when the first Wolverine, when the first X-Men movie came out.
Yeah.
Hugh Jackman, like 60 years old out here. On the best Roy's money can buy, allegedly.
Rakai's in the waiting room.
Yep. We're at time. So let's bring in Rakai before we go into crosstalk. So we can go into crosstalk. Fishburne's character in Ant-Man. That was Black Goliath. I did not know that. I didn't think about that.
Yeah. I'm campaigning to get Jonathan Majors back.
Let me know how that works for you.
It ain't gonna work well, but it don't matter. It's my passion project for 2025.
Let's get Jonathan Majors back into the
Jonathan Majors back as Kang.
I don't think he wants to go be back.
I think he would come back in a heartbeat.
You think so?
In a heartbeat.
Money talk.
Yeah,
all that other stuff walk right out the door.
Yep.
If
they say we want you to play, and he like, I do it. He ain't even got to get the whole aim out. He like, I do it.
We was gonna say Captain Kangaroo.
Right, we was gonna say Captain Kangaroo.
I do it. How much longer you think Megan gonna tolerate my broke ass?
I don't know. He's one of those guys that's like, I'm not gonna do it because they cut me in the first place.
Nah, man. He got all kind of interviews. He'd be like, well, Robert Downey Jr. was allowed to fix his mistakes. They should extend that to it. Man, he's out here talking. He wants to come back. He ain't turning it down.
Yeah, because the first thing they're gonna do is, you understand, why we did it, right? He gonna be like, yeah, I understand. You have no choice.
Mhm.
Man, they stopped all his stuff with. They stopped all his stuff. He got a movie where he was a bodybuilder. They were talking about Oscar buzz for it, man. They delayed it. It might come out like next year,
It
but
ain't
yeah.
coming out.
It ain't coming out.
It ain't coming out.
He had he may have done the worst hurt to his whole career.
It
You
was
know,
so early, I think it's the part, right? He was
No.
just he was just picking up traction.
yeah, yeah.
And
The other influencer that did the same thing recently this week, last week. Well, actually, last week. Yeah,
What do you do?
Philly. He got hit with a
Oh
great
yeah,
charge,
Philly.
a
Yeah,
great
and all
charge.
of his brands, everything, all them shows he
Everything
had
went
on,
wrong.
everything dropped him.
Man,
Everyone.
he had a deal with Nike. He had
what
a
Yeah,
Nike as an
what did he do?
influencer. As an
I
influencer,
know.
he
Yeah,
had a
Philly.
Nike deal. He had a
Philly's my
deal with
dude.
like
I
the
like young Philly.
European League, the Champions
Yep,
League soccer. He's had all kinds of deals. He had deals with
yep.
beverages and
And
everything.
they all dropped him like
They
a
all
bad habit.
dropped him. He got
What
hit
did
with a rape charge.
Oh yeah, they got
Even
to.
rapes. Yeah.
They got to.
And I was like, man,
Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
just putting it out there, you know.
he built the
Yeah,
whole
but I mean, the same
thing.
way we can understand it, that's the same way Jonathan Majors,
Yeah, yeah,
even though he was innocent, he was convicted of even the most he was convicted in. And no one's gonna say, he was only this, that. No, no. Conviction went with that. You
Yeah,
understand why
yeah,
we had to do it, don't you, my
yeah.
boy?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
We were talking about Philly, and I was like, man, I said just the fact that he got indicted for it killed
yeah.
everything.
It's
Killed
all
everything.
of it's
Mm-hmm.
all that. Yeah,
They had a
Yeah.
video of him. It got seen 120 something million times online. They pulled it down.
yeah. They got to.
Yeah. I was like, man. So yeah, Rikai,
Sir.
question. Would you
Yes.
rather see a new Blade movie or would you rather see a new movie with a different Marvel character, Black Marvel character?
Who's picking the Marvel character?
Say we pick them. You pick any Marvel character, Black Marvel character. Bishop, Storm, any of them. Have a solo movie.
Mm. As much as I want a new Blade movie, I'm gonna go with the new character. I need some variety. I need something new. Like, I mean, yeah, we had two Blade movies. Um,
Three.
no,
He
two.
intentionally excluded. I picked that up when he first said it. He intentionally
Three.
excluded
I
number
know he
three
did.
because I was gonna
Three.
correct him too, but I was like, nah, he know what he's talking about.
I know he did. That's why I corrected him. He had three
No,
Blade movies. But
no.
it's a
I'm like,
I've
I
trilogy.
don't know
heard
this third
I've
movie you're
heard
talking about.
I've heard rumors of one that had like Ryan Reynolds and someone. I heard Wesley didn't even get out of bed, that he phoned in all his lines. I think it was AI. I don't know, but I heard that didn't even happen. Heard it didn't make it. So there was two movies, one good movie and one great movie. Guillermo Tortoro's that Blade 2 was awesome.
Yeah, that goddamn
He
Blade
he
2
need
is
to come back.
amazing.
That's how you need. As a matter of fact, listen, while we talking about a new character, get me Guillermo del Toro back. Give me Edgar Wright to deliver to direct a,
They
a
can they
Marvel
can't
movie.
bring Eric Wagner back. They pulled him out. They told him he'll never work for Disney again.
Did they?
Yeah, he's
What?
supposed to be a Star Wars
Oh,
film.
because of Ant-Man, right?
Because Ant-Man, he pulled his name off of Ant-Man. He
Because they were
directed
trying to get him.
Ant-Man.
Yeah, they were trying to make him
But
do
that's
some.
because they was trying to do it. You know what I'm
They
saying?
did
So
a cut
amazing
over
how
top of him. They did
how
a cut
about a
over
bunch
top
of
of his
suits
cut.
who never made a movie do all these
Mhm,
cuts and do all this stuff? Or no,
mhm. So he did his final
you brought
cut.
me in to do what I do. Let me do what I do. You wouldn't do that,
Yep.
Steven
They
Spielberg,
took the
you
film
dirty
and then somebody else
mouse.
cut it. And he's like, take my name off that shit.
Mm-hmm.
That's not
Yeah,
my cut.
Exactly. Hell, that's why Zack Snyder keep releasing his cuts. He got to make people know this ain't what I did. I did some worse, some different trash.
Wow. The Zack Snyder slander.
Is
We
it
watch it.
really
We
slander though?
we
Is
watch
it?
we watch hey man, we watched what's the one with the girls that get lobotomized?
Sucker Punch.
Sucker Punch. We watched Sucker Punch on Centel's channel. Man, it's better than I thought it was. That it still holds up. It's still
It
the special visual effects
it
of it.
has the
Like,
potentials to
wow.
be a good movie, and Zack Snyder does make beautiful visuals.
He
It's
does.
just the story gets convoluted, and he's so busy doing slow-mos and trying to look at
Hey.
nudity and violence.
But
He gets
But
lost.
you know that going into the film. That's the way I've now looked at all Zack Snyder films.
Yeah.
Everything that
And
Zack Snyder does, we
and
know
Sucker
it going in.
Yeah. Sucker Punch we
Did
didn't
you-
know was going in.
Sucker Punch we didn't, but like subsequent works, we know what we getting, you know.
Yeah,
and we
but
keep
did
coming
you know
back.
that? Did you know that with Rebel Moon though? Hmm?
We knew what we were gonna be getting with Rebel Moon. We knew it.
We knew.
We knew it.
I knew it. I didn't
Yeah,
think
we knew it.
he knew it. We knew
We
it.
wasn't.
You know that-
You,
you know-
was you like,
Denial.
oh well, I think Zack Snyder's evolved as a filmmaker, so I'm interested in what
Yes.
he's going to do right now for Rebel Moon.
Yes.
He
Yes.
gave us Martha. How you can't ever forget that. He gave us Martha. You can't ever be like, oh, he's changed.
I mean, that's what people are saying about your boy M. Night. So I mean,
Right. Yeah. And
Nah,
we've
I
been
mean,
consistent.
You know what you get when M. Night Shyamalan
You know,
movie?
yeah.
You know what
He
you
had
get?
one
You know what you
hit
get?
out the box. I won't say one hit out the box, but that was the biggest hit out the box. And you know, everything else from there.
Yeah,
it's
some
been-
movies you know what you're gonna get when you get them.
Yeah.
You gotta accept them for what they are.
I don't know. I hear some of his recent stuff is better.
That's what I heard, but you know, I'm not taking the
Name
risk.
one. Name one, because I've seen all them shits. Name one. Name
What's
one.
that one? Knock at the Cabin or some shit. I heard that was good.
It's okay.
Yeah,
I
Six
mean,
Sense.
I don't
right?
know.
It's
I ain't seen it.
amazing.
I ain't seen it. I
It's
ain't been
okay.
back since Signs, I think. Sixth Sense was great. Unbreakable was great. Signs, I was like, and then
And what he
straight
did to
downhill.
Avatar, the last. I mean,
yes,
he
is
had the
unforgivable.
alley oop. He got the alley hoop from
Unforgivable.
he got the like Magic Johnson no look alley hoop, and all he had to, it was right there. It was right
And
there.
nobody was
All
on
he
the
had-
damn court. It was the
Right,
fast break
right.
alley.
It was a fast break on the steel, pushing it. My guy's running. He puts it right there, and all he has to do is slam it.
And,
Yeah,
and,
one
then,
second left
and,
on the
then he,
clock.
and then he gets posterized by Bronny. That's how bad it was.
Damn.
Damn.
I ain't got nothing else after that. I think we need to go to
all the
cross
Lakers
stuff.
players
Yeah.
gonna stop today.
And
I got-
Bryce
I
is
got
the
a
one who threw
technical
the alley
producer
oop.
that
That's how
loves the
bad that was.
Lakers, and all the Lakers slanders gonna stop right now.
I
He's
didn't give
gonna
any
chime
Lakers
in.
slander.
Yeah, that one
I'm happy for Bronny. There's no way people
Hey.
are giving way too much credence and talk about a 55th pick.
Hey, you see the Brownie Nike commercials with the fruity pebbles in the guard? It hits.
Yeah, that was great. It was
Slap.
a great
hilarious.
commercial.
It was
Slap.
hilarious.
Great commercial.
Slap.
It's one of the best commercials actually I've ever seen. Like
Yeah.
no special effect. It's just simple. It took
Yeah.
one shot, and he was like, "All right."
Yeah, don't be late to practice, Rook. He immediately called Bryce. Bryce, let me get your keys and clean up my
NBA
driveway.
players do
Just
stuff like NBA players do stuff like that for breaks. Like that's real stuff.
Yeah,
They do it in
yeah.
practice.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that he should get all the smoke. Whatever. It don't matter that his kid, you
Yeah,
should get all
absolutely.
the smoke.
Absolutely.
Yep. Rakan, what are we talking about today?
We are talking about Gundam Requiem for Vengeance on Netflix.
Okay.
So for anybody who's Gundam, Mobile Suit Gundam, any type of mech suits, this might or might not be the show for you. So we'll see. We'll talk about it.
Yeah. So tune in, you guys, and come hear our take on Gundam. With that being said, we'll be back up in 10 minutes. We'll say 11. Well, we'll say 11:30 Pacific Standard Time and 8:30 Eastern Standard Time.
That's
11:30 Eastern
You
Standard
gonna have
Time.
us here all goddamn night. I don't want to wait that long.
I'm sorry. I'm currently on the
You're
East
gonna watch a
Coast.
show of
I
us
know.
just drooling.
And I knew where you was going. I was like, oh, he on the East Coast, so he
I'm on
giving
the East
Then you
Coast,
said
I'm East Coast,
11:30
yeah.
Pacific. I was
I have a
like,
little-
You don't know
goddamn.
where he's at.
Okay.
I was like, let me give me some coffee.
Some
Said,
coffee.
I'm going to bed. Yeah, I got
Yeah,
this.
if I'm gonna be here till 11:30 Pacific, I need some goddamn coffee.
Take a nap and wake back up.
Right.
Okay, so 11:30 Eastern Standard Time,
Right. That one.
8:30 Pacific Standard Time.
It's all
If
like
you
we knew
jump
what you
out in
meant, fam.
between or outside of those, you figure it out for yourself.
Yeah, we knew
Shouts
what you
out to
meant.
Digital Click for making us look good. Shouts out for Defunct. He curates all our stories for us. Shouts out to Mark because Mark comes in and holds us down in the chat with his comments. I love Mark's comments in the
I do
chat, you
too.
guys.
I do too.
Uh, uh, and shouts out to Rodney for being a great technical producer, technical director. I got to send him a text message to get him my rating. I'll talk to you all later. Peace.
Peace.